Hey everyone.
Hi everyone. We're just waiting for the rest of the panelists to show up. They're popping up slowly. It's probably the internet and the system needs some time. Just pending more people. Hi Mustafa. Thanks for joining us every week.
I know, I love it. Like seeing familiar faces join week on week. It's amazing. That's exactly what we wanted.
And of course, Neil is always the last to connect. Just saying. If everyone hasn't already met Neil, you will later. So hi everyone, I'm Brittany. By now you should be familiar with who I am, but I'll just do a quick introduction again. I'm overseeing events for this part of the APAC world, and I've probably met some of you, if not most of you already. And just quick rules, you probably already know, but just want to be sure, just a gentle reminder, Q&A should be under any questions that you have as we work through the presentations later when we show you, or any questions that you have in mind that will pop up. Feel free to plonk them in under Q&A section. It's just opening up the chat. It's on the extreme right, the last tab there. So just key in the questions. We won't judge. We'll be more than happy to address any other questions or issues that you have as much as we can. And throughout later, at some point, just stay with us. There'll be a recording of this session. And if you haven't already joined us on Slack, you should, based on the email that we've sent out. The summary for last week has also been sent out. And any other questions, just ping us anytime. We'll be here. So I'll leave the introductions to the rest of them if you haven't already met them. Namra can go next.
Thank you so much, Gabby. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again. It's seriously so good to see familiar faces like we were already discussing. Today is the final session of our first edition of the Partner Accelerator in Southeast Asia. And it is a very special one since we have some amazing local partners who have joined us on this panel to share their Shopify partner journey as well as take questions from you. I did introduce Sam from SSDC in Indonesia and Phu from MeowCart in Vietnam in our Slack group. Both of them are founders and CEOs of their respective companies. If some of you missed that Slack update, you will hear from both of them shortly as I'll let them introduce themselves before we get to our presentation. Today's topic is partner success story. And I really think it is one of the most important sessions in this program. Hearing from your peers, meaning other local partners, is always going to be more meaningful for all aspiring and existing partners on this call today. So please ask questions, open a general conversation about a topic that might be of interest and relevance to this group. And you can keep that coming in the chat box starting right away. And please remember, our highly committed partners on this panel today would be happy to share not only their success stories, but also the hurdles that they have had to cross in getting to where they are today in the Shopify ecosystem. In terms of playing the presentations, we thought saving ample time for Q&A and an open discussion was important. So we'll be playing Sam's presentation today while we'll be circulating Phu's later for your consumption. I hope that makes sense. So with that, I will let Sam, followed by Phu, introduce themselves.
Hey, everyone. So my name is Samuel, and I'm based in Bali, Indonesia. I guess you'll be hearing more about my story in the next video. So I'll just keep it short, and then I'll hand it over to Tran or Phu.
And hi, everyone. I'm Tran Phu from MeowCart and Shopify Agency and Partner from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And today I'm so happy to join with you in the Shopify Accelerator program to see a chance to join the Shopify system. Thank you.
Well, I'll go. Seeing as my name's Neil. I'm the I look after Shopify Plus partnerships here in Southeast Asia, and I also, as you can tell, at the beginning of this call, constantly get bullied by Gabby, and I'll be filing an HR report pretty soon. I'll hand it over to Ian.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys again. So my name is Ian, taking care of APAC program partnerships here. So today is going to be a great session with two amazing agencies putting to your questions, and we have a lot coming up. So please looking forward to that.
Amazing. Thanks, everyone. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the presentation itself. So hang in there while my computer tries to share this. Can everyone see? Awesome.
Hello, my name is Samuel, and I'm the founder of SSDC. And here is my story working as a Shopify partner. So we are a Shopify partner and experts based in Bali, Indonesia, and we've been a Shopify partner since 2016. We're a team of 5 people. It started out with only just me, and then it grew to 2, and then 3, and then we're a team of 5 people. We focus on website developments using Shopify, mainly theme development and customization, store setup, custom features, or app installation, and also migrations from other platforms, but not so much on marketing. For this, we partner with another agency, so we mainly do website developments and not much of marketing side of things. Our merchant profile, as seen here, 50% from the fashion industry, 20% from jewelry, 20% beauty, and 10 is miscellaneous. Mainly fashion, because we started out with a couple of fashion brands, and being in that circle kind of grew into more fashion brands, and then branches out into jewelry and also beauty. But you know, Shopify is not just only about fashion. There are lots of other types of industries, such as health, electronics, services, and more. But we mainly do working with brands and not so much on dropshipping developments, because it was never more of our expertise. Our clients are 70% local and 30% international. So most of them are from Indonesia, and the rest is from Australia, US, and Europe. So where does our project comes from? A lot of it are mainly from the clients themselves. It's very important for us that we do a good job on our projects so that the client later refer to us to their friends. Just good old-fashioned word of mouth, and also by link building through meeting different people, companies, apps, or attending events. Another 20% is, of course, from our website presence and from Google search. We have a website, and we don't do like any special optimization SEO on it, but just keeping the website updated and targeting some general keywords such as Shopify website developer or Shopify Indonesia, and hopefully there will be leads coming from there. The other 20% comes from the Shopify Experts directory and the jobs marketplace. Since we are Shopify Experts, we have an official profile within the Shopify Experts directory. And then the last 10% is through other methods. One of them is very simple, by leaving a site grid on the footer of websites, such as designed or made by SSDC. We tried some Instagram ads or Facebook ads, but with a bit of option, so mainly word of mouth. This is some of our sample that we handled throughout the years. We have done, and this is some. I use the Shopify client. Usually do it now. For example, client is brand. Let's ask who did say it's brand. The web, and also you will get a you can move the community what
Sorry, just give me one moment while I check the video for a bit, guys.
website. And if they are also using Shopify, it will give the client a good indication that they too can or should move to Shopify. If the competitor is using other platforms such as Magento or WordPress, I then try to give them a brief comparison of Shopify versus Magento or Shopify versus WordPress. I also sometimes show them Google Trends, and I say things like, Shopify currently is the world's most popular e-commerce platform in the world, and a lot of brands use it, so why not you? So simple as that. For features comparison, what are the features that you need, and what do Shopify usually already offers, which is the usual things such as speed, reliability, less maintenance, security, and all that kind of stuff. Expenses, give them an idea of how much to be on Shopify versus their current hosting or server or platform. Maintenance comes into factor as well, with the time spent on maintenance resulting on cost and expenses as well. Whilst on Shopify, it's really dependable and really easy to maintain. So here is a sample graph of Google Trends that I usually give, such as Shopify was not too popular 5 years ago, and then now they're really ahead of Magento currently. The next thing is upgrades and scalability. When using Shopify, clients can start up small and then upgrade at any time. Also, as you know, Shopify comes in 3 different plans and give the client a general idea on what's the right plan for them, including transaction fees and things like that, and explain to the clients what kind of methods they can use to pay Shopify, such as credit card, PayPal, or in some countries, Shopify accepts debit or other methods. Now for the partner program itself and what it does and what it means to us and how we use it. The most important one is that it's free to join as a Shopify partner, and then you get a partner dashboard for all kinds of things. This includes the development environment in which you won't be limited to the regular 14 days trial, and it's also a much safer way for you to be working on this kind of development environment. The partner dashboard also allows for quick access to all of your client sites with just one login. Comes really handy when you start to manage a lot of sites. Next is the training and academy. There are many topics here to learn from basic customization to maintaining relationship with clients. Next is partner support, in which you will be assigned to a partner manager and ask them anything about Shopify partner. Shopify and Shopify partners via email or via chat. And then we have access to events, webinars, sessions, or meetups, of course now virtually. And last but not least is the partner payouts for us as a passive income. So in general, when you make a Shopify website through your partner dashboard, you get 20% of their monthly subscription. So it's about $5 if they are on the $29 plan every month, as long as the website is up and running. And the other way is you can have your own affiliate link in which you can spread it out in blogs or wherever. Every time somebody clicks on that link and then sign ups through that, you get a one-time bounty of 2 times their monthly subscription. So if they sign up for a Shopify plan is $29, then you get $58 one time. I would say the first one is much more beneficial for us. We started out with just a few clients, and then we've come to a point where these have become a solid income, a passive income for us, and even can pay for some of our office bills and things like that. So when I first joined, it was as a partner, and then I applied to become a Shopify expert. Shopify then reviewed all my previous work, and then I was fortunate to be accepted as a Shopify expert, which comes with some benefits of its own. We have our own Shopify expert profile on Shopify's website, and also access to Shopify Jobs Marketplace, where clients from all over the world post jobs or tasks in which we can then apply for. Sometimes the client view our profile and pick us directly, so this helps us a lot. So here is our profile of Shopify experts in the experts directory. In conclusion, we are fortunate to be on the Shopify Partners program. It has been really a blessing for us working with Shopify and helping clients and being in the Shopify community. I hope you all can experience the same as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Sam. That was amazing. Thanks for sharing all of that and highlighting it.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, Sam's here in the chat as well. So if you want to ping him straight away, right away. Add him to your LinkedIn, do anything that you need to reach out to him.
Thanks a ton, Sam. I think that was such an informative session, and there's obviously so much to pick for aspiring partners, as well as existing, actually. There are many partners who are not yet experts, for example. So thanks for that. I think, Fu, since we are not playing your presentation today, if you could just introduce MeowCart to everyone on the call, and the services that you offer, and also touch upon the affiliate marketing that you do, that'd be great.
Yeah. Due to the duration of the event is not enough for both presentation. So let me introduce a little bit about MeowCart, our company in Vietnam. So I start working with Shopify in 2015 for around 6 years ago, and I become a Shopify freelancer, and I'm working for infever.com and another website, and I have a client all around the world. But later I opened a company just around 2 years ago, and we focus in Vietnam market, and we still have client around just like the same as Sam. We have 30% local client, and we have 30 international from Australia, Hong Kong, and even Canada. Yeah. So as we have around 6 years in Shopify, so we can have partners on all of you one that want to join Shopify Partner Program or want to collaborate with me at MeowCart or even Sam for an other partner, and we can build a website. We have app development or other service related to Shopify. So we offer, so all partner, I think all partner offer the same service, just like Sam or other partner. We have store setup, team development, app install or migration, or UX UI design, or auto service maintenance and support as well. So if you want to reach out to us or know more about our service at MeowCart in Vietnam or in Southeast Asia or anywhere in the world, just get email me at chunfu@mailcart.net, or just search MeowCart in Google. Yeah.
And I think Fu, you should share your email ID on chat as well. And I think you bring a very important point to light, which is the collaboration within the partner ecosystem. And we highly encourage our partners to collaborate with each other, service agencies collaborating with app partners, and so forth. So Sam, to you, I know you work so closely with partners across Indonesia, and you've been helping us nurture a lot of partners as well while we improve our product fit there. So can you share some light on the events that you've hosted and the kind of collaboration that you thrive on?
Yeah, so it's very important for us to partner with a payment gateway locally. That's very key for us. Just to know, there's probably a couple payment gateways here in Indonesia, but I now work with 2 of them, and keeping them close means we have how you say it, a sure way of partnership, because everybody needs a payment gateway. And then secondly is the shippings gateway. We need to partner with them as well. So when you have those 2 partnership, then really you can take on any clients. There's also have been more local solutions popping up in Indonesia, and sometimes I reached out to them, hey, have you considered integrating with Shopify and things like that? So perhaps they only have a plugin for WooCommerce or Magento, and sometimes I reach out to them and asking if they want to connect with Shopify as well. So all these partnerships helps to provide solutions for clients locally, and that's what's important. Is the clients have solutions. They don't need to always rely on international apps. Well, sometimes you do, but there are usually local solutions as well.
Yeah, I think the best thing for merchants is, it's like a one-stop shop, right? They come to Shopify and they have all the,
Exactly.
required plugins available because of the ecosystem that we are trying to build out. Do you want to share, a little about the collaboration that you sort of have with overseas partners, especially from Australia and New Zealand, and how they support you in Indonesia?
Yeah, so it's well, before the pandemic, Shopify have the partner meetups as well, which is a 2-day event where we can meet regionally, meet with other agencies. So I had the pleasure to attend two meetups, one in Australia and one in Singapore, and that's where I met the local partners, the Asian partners, and the Australian partners, the agencies, and it's very good. Because at most point, we are all about expanding our client base, and it's good for us to introduce ourselves as, hey, we are the local partners in Indonesia. If you guys have an Indonesian brand, or have a brand in Australia who wants to expand to Indonesia, we know our stuff. We know our neighborhood better than anybody, and we're happy to help you. So these are the kind of relationship that we're trying to build. And likewise, if I have a partner, if I have a client who wants to build a website in Vietnam, I probably just hand it over to Tran, to MeowCart, or in Singapore, or in Australia. So really, you can take on other clients. It's not a problem. So that's really good, and it's also about knowing your capability as a agency. If I cannot handle a task or a project, I can always reach out to these acquaintances, these partners that we have connected before. And likewise, if these partners, if these agencies might get a project in which probably doesn't meet the price point, or perhaps they have too low of a budget, they'll hand it over to us as well. We're happy to accept. So it's a very win-win solution, and it's great to know the partners around the community.
Thanks for that, Sam. Totally. And I really love seeing all of this collaboration. Phu, in Vietnam, I mean, you are running a leading agency for us there in the market, and you obviously because of that, and I mean, back in 2015 as well, I mean, you were helping us. You are the ambassador for us in the market actually. So can you share a little about the collaboration efforts that you run with local partners there?
Since 2015, we have 6 years working with local partner and local client in Vietnam. So your question is which local client or local partner?
Yes. So yeah, which partners do you think? So maybe just broad categories like working with app partners. How does it benefit you as an agency partner?
Yeah. We have in Vietnam we have a lot of Shopify partners, but mostly we have a lot of apps partner in Vietnam. So we have in Vietnam we have MeowCart in collaborate with a lot of app partners just like Payfly, Jampay, like our hub and Boostcomer. Second, we have at least more than 10 big app partner in Vietnam. Maybe Sam or another partner here, maybe you have already installed a lot of apps that made from Vietnam. But so when we have international client or Vietnamese client, they want to have a solution for app, solution for a new feature, just like loyalty or app review or pay builder or any feature they want, we can easily find an app made in Vietnam. So we can do a better price, just like we have a discount for Vietnamese merchant. Just like, for example, your normal rate is $20 and we can offer just like 15 only for Vietnamese merchant. And we can have better support for normally we can have better, and we can have local time support, just like we can we not different time zones, so we can have a better customer support for Vietnamese customer if we choose Vietnam made Shopify apps. So in general, we have in collaborate with around all Vietnam Shopify partners that may add our teams or template a lot, so we can easily offer a customer a solution for their requirements.
Yeah, I've seen all of these collaborations come to life when you guys sort of propose or create a proposal for the merchants that you're onboarding. So, and all of it looks so good because everything is in one place, and it's so much more easier for merchants. Let's go to a few questions that we have actually in the Q&A tab. The first one is from Mark. Roughly how many new projects does your agency take on per month? Phu?
It depends. But normally we have around 5 to 7 medium project, small to medium, around 5 to, and we have a big project. We have only one or two big projects a month, but not so often. Just like you do not have big project any month. Just like we for a month you have 2, for a month you have 1, and for a month you don't have any big project. But in average we have around 5 to 7 or 8 projects a month. Yeah.
Okay. And Sam?
Yeah, I think we have about 1 big projects per month and probably about 3 medium or small projects per month. That's new projects, but we do also have a lot of ongoing projects, because sometimes a lot of times our projects become the client become repeat clients, and they sometimes want to do maintenance as well. So we do look after them as well.
I think Yeah, I think so the annual maintenance costs, right? I think that's a good point that you bring up, Sam. It's important for agency businesses to have that sort of a long-term approach so that you can build on the relationships that you have with existing merchants. So that's awesome. All right. Irene is asking, hi, Samuel, do you mind sharing the local payment gateway and most commonly used logistic service provider in Indonesia?
Yeah, so there's two payment gateways at the moment in Indonesia. Is Zenlit and Midtrans. Those are the two most common, most popular payment gateway, and either of them it's good enough. You just need to choose one, either Midtrans or Zenlit. It should take care of most of the payment solutions here in Indonesia. And for shipping, we have a plugin. I think we have 4 plugins available to connect with the local couriers. So it's I'll text you I'll chat with you the links, but there are plenty of options, plugins to connect with the local couriers here.
Yeah, we do have quite a few aggregator. We call it aggregator apps because they give you options to ship through multiple last mile providers. Yeah. And on the payments front, I think we also have buy now, pay later options. And the one that I remember is Empat Kali, I think, Sam. Is that right?
Well, they have a bit of unfortunate situation, but the new ones that are coming in is Atome, I think, from Singapore. Okay. They are now available as well in Indonesia.
Great. Moving on to the next one from Jan. Can I still send my sample development store even after we have ended the webinar? And also, if I wanted to learn more in building a store, would there be a future live training for this? So absolutely, you can send the development store, which was the homework for last week and also this week, actually, throughout maybe even next week. There's no timeline as such. We don't want you to rush through it. So feel free to share it at the earliest, but end of next week is also good. In terms of live trainings, Jan, we do not have any scheduled yet, but we will surely have something communicated to you maybe towards the end of June or early July for in terms of what the plan looks like for Q3 and Q4 for the rest of the year, which will include some live elements to it. If not a live training session, for sure, some hands-on exercises with folks like you. So thanks for bringing that up. Okay, Jesse has a very, very pertinent question. How Sam and Chanfu find your first local? So how did you guys find your first local clients? Who wants to go first?
Well, I guess I can go first. It's basically friends. That's the easiest. If you have a friend who owns a local brand or whatever, that's usually that's how I met my first local clients, just my friend, and then you start to grow from that. But keep within your circle, your social circle, the closest one first, is your friends, and then let your friends spread the word for you to your friends of friends. Mm-hmm. And then you just keep on building that to your in like the most outer circle, which is you don't know who they are, but they're gonna call you and, hey, can I build a website with you and like that. So it's always friends first and then friends of friends.
Okay. Fu?
For me, for 6 years ago, I have a first local client. And the way I get the first client in Vietnam, that I have a website. I open a website, MeowCart.net, and I share everything about Shopify. I share Shopify, what is Shopify, and why you should choose Shopify for your e-commerce website, and what the pros and cons of Shopify, and everything just around tutorials and everything about Shopify. So I wrote around 10 or even more article in my website, and it had a top 1 ranking on Google. So after that, my client go type into Google and they found us and they see the website, and they know that I have good knowledge about Shopify, so they hire me to build for their website. And later we have a lot of customer via our website.
Yeah, that's a good segue to the next question by Randy, actually. So in your experience, what is your selling strategy for Shopify against other options like WooCommerce, Wix, Squarespace, etc.? So Fu, I think you mentioned you write a lot of content that brings you qualified leads, which is great. Can you also share a little about the affiliate campaigns that you run, which is obviously content led, but can you share some more light on that?
About my affiliate content. So beside a store setup or a Shopify service, I have joined a Shopify affiliate program that I can earn commission if someone sign up for a Shopify paid plan via my affiliate link in our website or in my for affiliate content I have written just like what is Shopify and a history of Shopify and why you choose Shopify for dropshipping, bring on demand or another purpose. And so about my content is on focus all around Shopify, and my website is only Shopify. And we have Shopify comparison to WooCommerce, to WordPress, to WooCommerce or Magento or Breadstuff or any other platform. So most of my affiliates depend on only Shopify keyword. So if client or visitor or anyone who search about Shopify any related keyword, so I use Google Analytics, not Google Search Console, Google Trend, and Google Keyword Planner. So I know which keyword that audience in Vietnam they want to know about. So I wrote article about this topic, so we can easily rank on top 1 to top 3 or 5 in Google.
Yeah, that's a very smart approach. Fu, thanks for sharing. And Sam, so how do you pitch Shopify when compared to other platforms?
Well, that's a good question, but I first like to touch up on Fu's strategy. For me, as you probably seen on my presentation, on my video, that we actually rarely do a lot these affiliates, and we hardly do any blogs and stuff, and we focus more on word of mouth and growing through the client needs. I guess it's just a bit different. But moving on to that topic, there was a time when clients, there are people, potential clients asking me, so what's the benefit of WooCommerce? What's the different between WooCommerce and Shopify? And I spend a lot of time explaining, or I send them articles about explaining it, about the difference. But now I think everybody knows the difference between WooCommerce and Shopify. Not everybody. Most potential clients already did their research and they've come to connect to me because they already know about Shopify. So I don't need to sell them a lot about Shopify. I always give them their competitor brands. So I say, okay, so what branch of industry are you on? Are you in fashion? Okay. So who's your competitor? And let me see if they're on Shopify or not. And most likely they are on Shopify. And if they're on Shopify, it's a very, very easy thing to sell. I only recommend WooCommerce if like a small certain cases, but as I mentioned, a lot of them already know about the difference between WooCommerce and Shopify.
Yeah, I love that. I think to everyone on the call, there's a lot of tailwind across the market to basically pitch Shopify and help merchants cross the line in terms of helping them take that decision to build their sites on Shopify. So yeah, that is a very valid point. Yeah, Neil.
Yeah, I'd also like to add on to that just very briefly. I think it's going to sound maybe a bit contrived and cheesy, but I think just the sheer size of the partner ecosystem that's around Shopify is probably our biggest strength. The fact that whenever a merchant encounters a problem that they think can't be solved, there's usually a solution out there that has been found either by another merchant or a partner. And all it usually takes is a quick Google search to solve that problem. And the fact that we have experts on Shopify in pretty much every corner of the world these days shows that it should give a merchant comfort that whatever problem is that they may face on the platform will be solved and will have been solved somewhere. And yeah, that sheer kind of weight of momentum behind the business, and the fact that we have such a strong and engaged partner ecosystem, which is really getting the most out of the platform, and really taking Shopify to the next level, is what we usually kind of push as our key selling point in both Shopify and Shopify Plus when we're speaking directly with merchants.
Thanks, Neil. And I think also, like, asking merchants who are your competitors and then seeing if their web stores are on Shopify, I think that's a great way to go about it as well. Yeah. Since we are with you, Neil, how do we become Shopify Plus partners?
Whoever asked this one is on, I noticed, is anonymous, and I'd probably scold them for not attending week 2 or session 2, I mean. But so the short answer is what we really look at is a couple of things. The first thing is track record. So we want to see how much work a partner has done with Shopify and with Shopify Plus, what deals they've won, what implementations they've built, and what that merchant experience has looked like. We also, becoming a Plus partner needs to make sense for the market. And so if Shopify are investing in a given region because we see forward momentum, or our targets are just set about in a way where we're really looking to ramp up in a region, then we'll usually look to increase the number of Plus partners that we have. It's a highly selective program, so we don't just onboard any partner, and we can't guarantee eligibility based on certain criteria, because what we don't want is to have a highly competitive environment for our partners to work in. What we like is, what we're seeing today, partners collaborating with each other and working well with each other, rather than fighting for deals because there aren't enough to go around, and that can kind of lead to price wars, and then no partner makes any money out of any of the deals that they do. And so yeah, those are kind of the main things: is the track record with Shopify and Shopify Plus. If you want to get more insight into how you can start building that track record, you can go back to the session around introductions to Plus partnerships. And I detail a little bit more how you refer the leads and how that gets attention, the attention of our various teams. And yeah, that's probably the best thing that you could do, is kind of go back and watch that, and obviously reach out to the teams that you're working with and express your interest, and then we can kind of open dialogues from there.
Yeah. Thanks, Neil. I could see Fu and Sam also paying a lot of attention to your response. Aspiring Plus partners. That's awesome. And I think it's a follow-up question from the same person, still anonymous. So we will be sharing the recorded sessions with you. Actually, it's already shared. You can take a look at your inbox. If you cannot find it, just write to us at apacpartners@shopify.com. I'll ping you that email ID, and I'll share that link with you separately. Or please join the Slack group, post this query, and then we'll respond back with the link. So there are multiple ways in which we could share that link with you. Just be visible to us, and we'll get it to you. Yeah, Gary?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that, like, just join the Slack channel. That's the easiest way to reach us. And in the Slack channel, you also see all the history or some of the things that we've posted previously and discussions as well. It's really useful to be in that channel, and we're generally quite active on that channel as well.
Thank you. Selvin's question has 3 upvotes. What's the typical turnaround time for a medium project from store setup to launch? Fu, you want to go first?
For a medium project, it takes around it depends on the client. If they have already everything around, they have everything broader, they have branding, they have UX/UI design, or they have all requirements, that a feature that they want to have. So we want to make sure that client have already all things that they have required. So for medium project, from beginning to launch, it takes around 1.5 months to 2 months. It's around 2 month interval in maximum. But maybe sometimes it takes longer because of client feedback. They want to modify a lot. But if the client they have something ready, they have better feedback, and they more responsive, we can finish in less than 1 month. So it's depends, but in average is 1.5 months.
Thanks, Fu. Sam?
Yeah. We also be very specific that we have a list of things before we start that the client needs to provide us, and after the list, it's 3 to 4 weeks for a medium project, 3 to 4 weeks of development after the client's hand over everything. But we also do have a clause that if the clients take longer to get things from their end, if there's still stuff missing from there, that it may take longer for the project to complete, but they still need to pay us on time, even if the project is taking longer. And the other way, if we from our end takes longer to develop, then we have we have a penalty that we reduce the total invoice per day that we are late on delivering things. So we like to keep it like a constant thing, a schedule thing.
That's great. I mean, a lot of accountability from both ends. That's awesome. And I think per day penalty is, well, this is the first time I'm hearing it, and it's pretty aggressive. That's lovely.
Most of the time it's from the client though.
Which is why you have that clause, huh? Very smart.
Yeah.
That's great, Sam. Cool. Irene has a question. Hey, Sam, I heard that e-com platforms like Tokopedia are commonly used in contrast to building their own online store. What's your thought on that?
So I think this is a great question. And for the other countries, there's probably Shopee and Lazada. For the Asian countries, in Indonesia, there's Tokopedia as well. Marketplaces, a lot of brands have probably started from marketplace and then expanding to a website, or having a website first and then expanding to a marketplace. Is now okay because Shopify have now connectors between the marketplaces. So you can sync the products, sync the orders, and sync the inventories all together. So it's okay to have both running at the same time. And I always say, it's actually lower percentage fee to have your sales in a website, because Shopify only takes about 2 or 1% of the transaction fees, whilst these marketplaces takes usually a lot more, especially if you have a power badge. So it makes more sense if you're selling on the website. Plus, it gives you more database, customer database. But I say take good advantage of both of them and see the trends, because sometimes the trends at certain dates, marketplaces are the thing to go, and then at certain dates, people are flocking to the website. But you can do a strategy on it, such as having the new collection only released on the website, and having the marketplace only sell previous collection, or having discount coupons or discount offers that only you can apply on the website. So it just bring the traffic if you want to bring it to the website, if you want to bring it to the marketplace. Just like that. So I think both is good because we have a connector.
Super valuable, Sam. Thanks for that. Neil, Ian, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this, and Ian, I'll be quick.
Oh yeah, Neil, you're from Lazada.
Yeah. Unfortunately, so's Gabby. Don't tell anyone.
So is Gabby.
And
okay.
I have a lot of thoughts on this. I worked a lot in marketplaces, even before coming to Southeast Asia. I was with Rakuten before that, the Japanese marketplace, and I think Southeast Asia is in an interesting position in that if we look at China and Japan, they were very much marketplace first, e-commerce markets. And you can kind of put that down to the fact that Google didn't really have a big stranglehold on e-commerce search there, and so consumer behavior there is pretty set, and it's pretty hard to change, although it is now changing. Whereas in Southeast Asia, both kind of e-commerce websites and marketplaces have kind of grown together. As Sam mentioned, the barrier to entry for marketplaces can be very low, but it gets very expensive. And whenever people ask me this question, I always think it depends on the brand and what the business is trying to do. If you're trying to build a brand and create a relationship with your customer, that can only happen on your own website, because on a marketplace, you don't own that customer, you don't own any of that data. And so you can't remarket and you can't do any of these things, and you kind of put yourself up to risk. And so it really comes down to the nature and profile of what that business wants to get to in a few years. And yeah, and I completely agree. As Sam mentioned, marketplaces have a low barrier to entry, but the costs become quite high in terms of commissions, and in order to win customers through the noise of just the sheer volume of products on marketplaces, you end up having to cut your margins and run sales and give promotions in order to get that noise. So merchants end up chasing GMV for GMV's sake, but they're not making profitable sales. And the funny thing about marketplaces is nobody's making any money. The marketplaces aren't making any money; they're losing money, and the merchants often are kind of cutting thin margins, and so nobody really wins. And so I'm quite passionate that I think if you want to build a sustainable business, you need to invest in your own store, in which you can kind of control and provide as good a user experience as possible. And our partners need to be good at kind of explaining the cost and benefit of marketplace versus own store, and there are certainly circumstances where marketplaces are absolutely valuable, like sales seasons and 11/11 and all of that. But I would never say you do one over the other. I think you have to have both, and they need to be part of an overall online strategy.
Yeah, just to add on that. It's becoming more and more connected. As you know, in Indonesia, Shopee, for example, Shopee now has Shopify as a payment method, but our payment gateway Midtrans also accepts Shopify for Shopify. So there's really no downside to having both, because you can connect the inventory, you can connect everything, and then you can also accept the same payment methods. It's a very win-win to have both. It's just a matter of how you balance it out.
Yeah, I agree. Places, in my mind, should be a customer acquisition tool, and your website should be a retention tool. That's what it should be. You shouldn't be sending your repeat customers back to an expensive channel when you've already won them and you've already earned them.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys, for this holistic view, and Neil for summarizing it so well. Yeah, so a few more questions, guys. Thanks so much. They are trickling in. I love it. Hi, Sam and Fu. What do you think of owning a Shopify store for experimental purposes? Do you guys own one? I think I'll go first, actually, because I believe MeowCart is on Shopify, the website, Fu's company website. Is that right?
Yeah. But I think the question is real store, not for information, but you actually sell products. And my answer is yes. I have another brand, not MeowCart, a company website, and we use Shopify for our company website. But we have, personally, I have another website, and I use Shopify to selling jersey and a fashion brand. So I have another company and another brand using Shopify. So I think it's if you want to know more about Shopify as a client, everything, just like how hard it is, or how strong, and you can explore every function and every feature, just like email marketing or retargeting or Facebook and Google Shopping, and everything as a client. So you can have more and more experience to offer for your future client, that how to run Facebook ads, how to run automate some email marketing, and you know everything about Shopify as a client, so you can offer more and more service, and you know the Shopify feature, you can know all about it, so you can offer the best service for your client. So my answer is yes.
That's awesome, Pooh. Sam, do you own one?
I don't actually. I should have, but I don't know what to sell. So I keep helping my clients get better and grow, but I've never had a Shopify site for my own.
Story of a life, man.
Yeah, I know.
We help partners set up companies, and we see them grow. We love it.
yeah. But someday, maybe I'll sell some I Love Namra T-shirts or something.
I didn't bribe you, man. Okay, is Shopify planning to do any native integration to marketplaces? I can take that. So we have something called as sales channels, and so we sort of handpick partners that we want to work with and have sort of a native integration with those marketplaces. In Southeast Asia, not any yet, but we have a lot of plugins or apps, we call it, a lot of apps that help you connect to the likes of Shopee, Lazada, Zalora, to Shopify. So yes, we already have it, but in terms of direct sales channels, it's in the works. Hopefully announcements to follow in the near future.
Yeah, I just want to add something that you see that Shopify is really an ecosystem play, that we want the marketplaces and the potential great channels for you guys to sell. We are gradually getting there. I know Southeast Asia, or even for Asia, we don't have much yet, but you see that we already connect with, you see the news about Google, about Facebook, even about TikTok maybe. But so we are getting there, and we are trying to connect with all these players, these marketplaces, and you will see that already there are some apps already helping you guys connect with Shopee, you connect with Lazada. So you can search for the app. Maybe there will be some to help you to do it right now. But so for official channel, I think it will coming up later.
Thanks, Ian. So I just pinged to the App Store. I think there was a question on that. But if you are asking for the exact apps that help us integrate to the marketplaces, we can ping those links to you as well in a bit. Moving to the next question from Selwyn. How do you handle issues when you both pitch Shopify to a client and then they go ahead and sign up themselves for a trial? What in your experience is the best to avoid that? That's a very good question. Sam?
Perhaps Tran can help, because perhaps cookies might be the answer, maybe.
Yeah, so basically, let me frame this question a little differently. So this question is about if you do not create a development store for them and they sign up directly on Shopify, but you had actually pitched to those clients, what do you do about it? Do you create another fresh development store and say, hey, you get unlimited trial period here, so why don't you go ahead and sign up on the dev store that you create rather than the one they signed up on?
Well, I guess, okay, so actually we can't do that because it just creates too much hassle for us if we just create a development store for them, and then they'll need access and they'll need payment gateways to be set up, and we can only do it from here and all that stuff. So if they're not interested to work with us, we have to let them go, I guess. But during that time, perhaps we might drop some links to them that perhaps can stay in their cookies browser, so that eventually they'll wind up signing up using our trial account, which could be great. But in short, there's no way to know if we can avoid that or not. Try and perhaps. What about your perspective?
So actually, we didn't avoid that. Just like in the beginning, when we pitch a project to a Shopify client, so we mentioned before we tell them that if you want to build a Shopify store for this project, we can build via our partner as a development store, so you can have unlimited time for trial, just like not only 14 days and not limit, and we can have more time for development. But if customer don't want to develop via partner development store and they want to sign up themselves, so we can give them our affiliate link. Hey, if you want to sign up yourself for 14 days, so we can offer you a link. But and I will tell them that if you sign up for via our link, we will have commission from Shopify. So please sign up via our link. So they are very happy to do that for us. Yeah.
Actually, I would just like to add on one thing. We almost rarely start the project without us starting the development store by ourselves, unless if they already have a working Shopify store and then they want us to continue. There's nothing we can do about that. But if they want to start a project, it needs to be from our development store. If they already played around before, just close it. We'll copy it over, whatever. We just it's that much more precious for us to start it from our end.
Yeah, exactly. I think both of you covered ground in terms of what Selvin was exactly looking for. So Selvin, previously we could actually help partners link it from the backend in terms of trials. So that was directly created by the merchant connecting to your respective partner accounts. But now that is not the case. So if you have merchants who have signed up directly, although you helped them onboard to Shopify, just if there's not a lot of work that has been put into that trial store, you can always quickly create a dev store and say, hey, unlimited trial period, which obviously means that the merchant starts paying Shopify once the store is ready to go live, which makes total sense for any merchant. So yeah, just help them create a dev store from your partner account. But of course, the earlier you get to know about all of this, the better. So please keep the engagement levels high with all the prospective merchants that you're working with or who are in the pipeline, so that you don't miss out on these opportunities. But thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, and take their store username if you can. Just kidding.
Yeah. So what kind of support do partners get when we go through a store build? From my end, I would say 24/7 partner support is available to you. So these are folks who are dedicated to supporting our partners alone. So merchant support is separate from partner support. So you could reach out to them via chat, via email, or on call. But anything that Sam and Fu, you have leveraged from Shopify to expedite your store setup processes?
Yeah, I think I always try to reach out. Now that I found Slack, the community, but I always reach out to the Facebook community, the Facebook group community, if I have something that I don't know about. Or sometimes I just chat with Namra and ask, hey, what's the best payment gateway in Malaysia, or can you connect me with a courier in Singapore and things like that. So, and then if I have a trouble, we can always reach out. I would say, like, honestly, the Shopify live chat is not the best place for us to get support. So the Facebook group is a better it's better for us to get quick feedbacks and stuff.
Yeah, because I think, Sam, you're also thinking of what are the new local integrations available, or what are the local use cases, right? So that is more available in the community. So I agree with your approach there.
I want to add something that the community and also the partner supports, those are great resources. I will encourage all of you to get it. And another thing is, I think because you see how many developers, how many agencies already get on Shopify. So if you Google or if you search in Shopify's help page, you actually can find a lot of resources because previously already a lot of developers asked the same questions. So if you have a similar thing, just Google it, and then probably you will find out some answers in Shopify help page. Or there are some other communities, not owned by Shopify, but even for web developers, or even YouTube tutorials. There are a lot of materials in the internet to help you. But if you have specific questions, go to the partner support or go to the community. I think those will be also really helpful.
Yeah, totally. Or just ask Xavier. I think he's on this call, right? Just ask Xavier, and he'll help you guys out.
I think he knows everything.
He's lovely, guys. Connect with him. Neil, you want to share something about Xavier?
Well, no, I was just going to, if anyone wants to connect with Xavier, let me know. I can share his contact details.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, so a final question from Anonymous. Do we still get commission for store build for ourselves from the Shopify partner? I don't think I comprehend this question very well. But if you mean whether you get recurring commissions or not from any store that moves to a paid plan from your development stores, 100% yes, you get commissions for the lifetime of the merchant.
I mean, I think they meant if you make stores on your own, and then using your own partner.
I think I know the question. Just like me, we have MeowCart at a Shopify Partner, and I open a new store for my new brand, and I sign up and I make a new development store, and I subscribe for a Shopify plan, and I still have commission from my partner account.
Report that, Neil. Report that to HQ.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not supposed to do that. You shouldn't have. You should have kept. Yeah. So basically, it's against policy to
really? I don't
make
know
commission from your own stores. We do have partners cheekily on Shopify Plus. Who not partners but merchants who try to do this. They try to refer their own stores.
Yeah.
And when it gets caught, our team kind of takes action. It's nothing more drastic than the commission stops getting paid.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so I was the innocent one. I'm like, okay, what's this question? But okay, and now I get it. So anyway,
from program perspective, I would not recommend everyone to do it.
Of course not. Yeah, thanks, Ian. Okay, guys, we are good with the Q&A, as in we've covered all questions. If you have something pressing, just ping us right away or on Slack afterwards. But this has been great. Like, we are done with 6 webinar sessions, I think, and we've had, all of you show up week on week. That's awesome. So thank you so much for that, guys. We really, really, really appreciate it. And so yeah, there's this homework now that you need to also sort of submit, if you can, please, at the earliest, which is creating a demo store on Shopify. We have a few guidelines. We posted the doc on Slack, so take a look. And
Namra, before we end the session, I want to add one thing. So I think all of us, like all the agencies, all the partners on this call, I think the critical question is always like, how do I get the first few customers, or how do I get some of them? I think Sam and Phil already shared some of the key insights they have experienced before. So I think they mentioned about, okay, the first thing, build the connections in the community and find out where the merchants are. I think that those are really critical. Like either it's online or it's offline. I know it's hard to do offline right now, but maybe there are some online communities. So make sure you are in the right Shopify communities. And the second thing, I think as Phil mentioned before, about build your websites, build your own contents. Attract traffic. Whoever searching for Shopify solutions, searching for Shopify services, make sure you will be in that list. So build your own websites, build your own contents. I think those are really critical. And I think the last thing is, okay, so make sure that like what you are best at, and then make sure that you build. Maybe you use that to build your first store for really low price, or your second store for free. I don't know. Maybe you find someone in your, like, who's your classmates, who is your friends, and build some stores for them first. Then you have that experience. Then you have that credentials to put on your websites and to attract more leads afterwards. So maybe there are someone in your network, they already think about, okay, I need an agency to help on my store. Go to help them. Maybe it's really low price. It's okay. That's just the first one. But make sure you have that experience and building up your own credentials from these networks, from these channels, from these coming traffics first. And then you can build up your business. I think, again, the important thing about Shopify, each of you, your own business to be successful. I think that's the critical thing, not only for this program, but for the entire partnership program.
Totally. Super valuable, Ian. Thanks so much for that. I think for all of you folks here on this call, in the next couple of months, if you can get your first referral, nothing like it. But to Ian's point, even if you collaborate on a few projects with other partners, that's awesome too. And as we move along, we will try to broaden the horizon in terms of including more geographies, meaning having maybe an Asia Pacific wide session, and help you connect with other partners so that you can collaborate even better. So there are a lot of ideas we are working on, but we will need the push from your end to sort of set the ball rolling. So since the basics of the partner program, how to sell Shopify, how to build on Shopify, about Shopify apps, you've met a few great partners today on this call. I think you have enough information to sort of help you cross the line in terms of getting started from 0 to 1, and then of course we will help you scale from there on. So yeah, just help us help you better. On that note, Neil and Gabby, any closing thoughts?
Of course, Neil had to put in a question of, can I have your autograph, Ian? Of course, it's Neil. I don't have anything else to add apart from just remember to join. Yeah, and then he hides his face. Just remember to join the Slack channel, and with the summary email that we'll be sending, look out for those links. And I promise you this time the links will work. Splash hates me, so maybe some of the links didn't work previously, but this time it will work. And there are links to communities as well that are local. Feel free to join those as well. And at the same time, just ping anything you want, any questions, suggestions, thoughts into the Slack channel. We'll be there, and we will try to address or even engage with you as much as we can. So yeah, and before Neil ends it off, I'm just gonna say the floor will be open for you to hang out a little bit more, meet the rest of the partners, chit chat. It doesn't even have to be work. Could just be taking a little break and just finding out about where all the other partners are from. The room's open for you for at least another half an hour. So feel free to do that, and I'll let Neil sum it up.
I don't have anything else to add, to be honest, but yeah, thanks for all the kind of commitment for those of you who've attended every session and have shown really good engagement with this program. I promise you that level of engagement will show dividends in the long run. If you implement all of these tips that you're getting from all of these people that have been there and done that, the inspiration that you can take from some of the partners that were in your position not too long ago, and the insight in new business and lead gen from Ian, from Anshuman in session 3, you'll get far. You just need to kind of continue with this engagement and commitment, and who knows, in the next 2 or 3 sessions you guys will be up here and telling your story. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of catch up with you guys soon in the breakout sessions and in the future.
Thank you. We'll see you back on the floor.